In this video, we're looking at my two favorite laptops that can be found for at or below the $1,000 price point. Now, specifically, this laptop over here retails at about $1599, but you can find them on sale or an open box special for around that $1,000 price point. Now, this laptop retails at the $1,099 price point, and you can find them on sale for below $1,000. So these are my two favorite kind of bang for buck laptops coming out of 2023 and 2024. Can you guess what they are? If you haven't been able to kind of see what they are so far. Can you guess what they are? Comment below, see if you're right. Now, what we are looking at here today is the Lenovo Legion Slim 5 14-inch model and the MSI Cyborg 14. Now, for some insane reason, I'm not sure why, they have yet to reveal to me what the plan is moving forward. You cannot get a 2024 Lenovo Legion Slim 5 14-inch model. And to me, this is probably the best, absolute best bang for buck laptop that I have seen in the past 2 years in the 14-inch category. And the fact that they did not make this one again absolutely astounds me, but I will not rant on about that. We're gonna look at these two laptops from a build quality, usability, design, and performance standpoint to see which one is right for you. This video is brought to you by Asus ProArt laptops. The laptops built from the ground up for creators. More information to come later in the video. Now, first and foremost, taking a look at the weight and thickness, these two are almost identical. The MSI is a little bit thicker. However, it's a little bit shorter, you can see here on the form factor. Now, picking them up, the weight and thickness, you can feel the Slim is a little bit heavier. The reason being is because, again, this is one of my favorite bang for buck laptops. So we have an aluminum top cover, an aluminum bottom cover, and then we have a plastic keyboard deck. So just keep in mind, plastic keyboard deck on the Legion Slim 514. For the MSI Cyborg, we have the aluminum top cover, but we have a plastic keyboard deck and plastic bottom cover. Now, I do like the plastic bottom cover on this. I think it's pretty neat. Kind of this translucent design. So I think it's a really, really cool design. However, going to have much more aluminum materials, and to me, an overall better build quality on the Lenovo Legion Slim 5 14-inch model. And I'm just going to call it Slim 5 for the rest of the video because it's a mouthful. Now, going ahead and taking a look at the assembly, you can see that we have, you know, a very gamer aesthetic to this. The bottom cover fits in all the way up on the side panel. So there's not like this connection point where it's bottom to side panel. The bottom cover actually is the side panel of this specific design. So this entire thing pops off in order to reveal the upgrade path and the internal components on the device. However, you're taking a look at the Slim 5, you can see that the bottom cover fits into the side panel here on this device. So this goes ahead, unscrews, pops off, and then you have access to the internal components. Now, speaking of the internal components, you have two upgradable M.2 slots in the Slim 5. However, you do not have the ability to upgrade the RAM. That's probably this laptop's biggest disadvantage because it comes with 16 gigs of RAM and it's not upgradable. So you can upgrade two M.2 slots, the boot drive, and an unoccupied drive. That's really great, but no RAM upgrade. When we go to the MSI Cyborg, you can upgrade the RAM. This is one of the only 14-inch gaming laptops, again, there's probably another one out there, but one of the ones that I know of where you can upgrade the RAM on this device. However, you only have one M.2 slot. So if you want to upgrade the storage, you have to swap the boot drive, which could be problematic for some people who are less technical in regards to computers. So if you're considering the upgrade path, I honestly, from a performance standpoint, might say that the MSI is a little bit better, but from a storage standpoint, I would say that the Slim 5 is a little bit better since you can easily add a storage drive without having to swap the boot drive. So what advantage is better for you? That's your decision to make. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the ports. On the left side panel, we have HDMI, USB-C, USB-A for the MSI Cyborg, and the power adapter. On the Slim 5 14-inch model, we have the headphone jack, manual cutoff switch for the webcam, and an SD card reader, making this, again, one of my favorite laptops because this is a channel for creative professionals, and so that SD card reader is just fantastic. Now, going ahead and looking at the back panel, we have a network port on the MSI. We do not have a network port on the Slim 5, so that's a big advantage for the MSI if you want fast internet speeds. On the Slim 5 14, HDMI, 2 USB-C, and our power adapter. Coming to the other side, Kensington lock, which is not found on the Slim 5, USB-A and our headphone jack, and then we have 2 USB-Cs on the Slim 5. Now, overall, from a design standpoint, I think this laptop is really cool looking, but I think this laptop is a much better design, and it's just much more minimalist, a very good, strong chassis materials chosen. So that's why I'm such a big fanboy of the Slim 5. However, like I said, these are my 2 favorite, budget-friendly 14-inch gaming laptops, and so the MSI really stands out as a great bang-for-buck package. Now, one thing I want to talk about now is the thermals of these 2 devices. Now, for the MSI Cyborg, the thermals on it are going to be 76 to 82 degrees Celsius during a 4K export. I load a 4K file into Premiere Pro, export out at full quality 4K settings, and that reached 45 to 49 decibels of fan noise. Now, looking at the Lenovo Legion Slim 514, 46 decibels of fan noise for that same test was 71 to 79 degrees Celsius on the CPU. So a little bit warmer on the MSI Cyborg, but they're pretty much neck and neck on the test. Now, going ahead and taking a look at the battery life, you're definitely going to want to choose the Slim 5. It has substantially more battery life than the MSI Cyborg. So think about this. We have an HS series processor from Ryzen in the Lenovo Legion Slim 5 versus the H series processor from Intel inside of the MSI Cyborg. So substantially better power management coming out of that HS series processor compared to the standard Intel H series processor. So that's going to be your advantage. And while we're talking about the processor, for the Lenovo Legion Slim 5 14-inch, we have the Ryzen 7 7840HS with the RTX 4060 and 16 gigs of RAM, compared to the MSI Cyborg with the i7 13620H, the RTX 4060 and 16 gigs of RAM. So that's the specs. Now, if you're curious about the exact pricing and availability, like I said, these are becoming less and less available, so get one while you can. Head down in the description below and click those links. If you do make a purchase, I'll get a small commission, but at no extra cost to you. And I'm so grateful when y'all use those links. It's what will keep this channel alive and the helpful content coming your way. Now, next thing to take a look at is going to be the display of the devices. Now, I was actually surprised at how close these displays correlated in regards to the performance of them. Now, one thing you want to note is that you do have a glossy display on the Slim 5 compared to the matte display on the MSI Cyborg. So that's definitely going to be something that you might consider as an advantage, whether you like glossy or matte. For the MSI Cyborg, it can reach 471 nits of screen brightness at 98% sRGB, 78% Adobe RGB, and 78% DCI-P3. However, the Delta E is, I've never seen a Delta E this high. It was 9.51. So this could definitely use some color calibration. That's something that you might want to consider when purchasing this device, because that is a very inaccurate screen for the color reproduction. Now, looking at the Lenovo Legion Slim 5, we have 385 nits of screen brightness at 100% sRGB, 97% Adobe RGB, and 99% DCI-P3 at a Delta E of 0.75. So I would say that overall, the glossy screen is going to be an advantage in regards to color accuracy and color gamut range. However, for a budget-friendly laptop, still getting 98% sRGB and 471 nits of screen brightness is really solid. This video is brought to you by the Asus ProArt PX13, a 2-in-1 laptop built from the ground up for artists, designers, photographers, and videographers. This laptop provides a 2-in-1 pen-compatible 3K OLED Corning glass display that is durable and color accurate. It weighs 3 pounds and is just over a half an inch thick. It has all-day battery life for productivity tasks, a durable aluminum chassis that exceeds stringent testing, and let's not forget about the Asus dial to streamline your workflow, providing access to your most commonly used tools. Equipped with the AMD Ryzen AI 9 CPU, 32 gigs of RAM standard on every model, and an RTX 4050, 4060, or 4070, this device provides the necessary performance for even architecture and 3D modeling work. Check out my full review content of the Asus ProArt PX13 within the playlist linked in the YouTube cards above or the description below. Now, one thing I've also noticed is you can see that the screens are sitting the exact same at the bottom. They're aligned at the bottom, but they're not aligned at the top. So the Lenovo screen is ever so slightly bigger than the MSI screen. So just keep that in mind as well. You have a little bit more height on the screen. Now, I'm going to go ahead and do a quick open and close test for these 2 devices really quickly. Open and close the screens easily with one hand. They both have a nice little fin here, so you can grab the screen, open it up very quickly. Let's go ahead and do the screen bounce test. Man, they stop at almost the same time, but there's less actual movement on the Lenovo comparatively. Let's check out the screen flex. Quite flexy. Definitely less flexy with that aluminum, thicker, more rigid aluminum top cover. All right, let's go ahead and spin things around here and check out the trackpad comparison. You can see the trackpads, I think, are going to be the exact same size. So that's definitely a nice advantage of not having to, split hairs between which trackpad you like. They both have a nice click. They sound nearly the same, and I'm going to give you an audio sample in just a second. So really, trackpad is a wash for both of these devices. Now, going ahead and taking a look at the keyboards, you can see that they're very similar in design as well. Even down to the page up, page down, and arrow key, how they are laid out, they're very, very similar. Full-size shift keys, nice backspace keys. You get the power button on the keyboard for the Cyborg. You have the power button in the middle of the device for the Slim 5. But very similar overall. You have the classic rounded key at the bottom for the Slim 5 compared to the normal square key. I'm going to say that the MSI is slightly louder compared to the Lenovo Legion Slim 5. Here's a quick audio sample of me using both the keyboards and trackpad so you can hear for yourself. And of course, both devices have webcams along the top bezel. Here's a sample so you can see those and hear those for yourself. This is the webcam on the Lenovo Legion Slim 5 14-inch model, and a little sample of the audio for you as well. This is the webcam on the MSI Cyborg 14, and a little sample of the audio for you as well. And last thing we're going to give a test to is the speaker test. So here's a quick audio sample of the speakers in use so you can hear what they sound like. Also, one thing I want to point out is the laptops at idle. The Lenovo Legion Slim 5 is going to be a quieter device. Right now, we're sitting at idle, not doing anything on the device. And I have some fan noise for the MSI. I have no fan noise for this Slim 5. So if you're not fond of fan noise at idle, I cannot imagine who likes it. The Slim 5 is going to be the better choice. It's got a better thermal management system, especially with that Lenovo Vantage Center. Compared to the MSI Sense Center, I've never been wildly impressed with it. It's okay. Without further ado, let's get into the performance benchmarks of these two devices. I'm going to jump straight into the Photoshop benchmark to consolidate things. You can see that the MSI Cyborg has a 6,673 versus the Lenovo Legion Slim 5, 6,480. So you actually have a slight advantage by choosing the MSI Cyborg, but we're really splitting hairs there. Those are going to have pretty equal performance inside of Photoshop. However, because the MSI Cyborg has the ability to upgrade the RAM, if you put it up to 32 gigs of RAM, you would easily be in, say, like 7,200, maybe 7,400 in this Photoshop benchmark. So that RAM would give you a much better experience inside of Photoshop. Photoshop loves RAM. It gives you ceiling, gives you more performance, makes the program less laggy. So I definitely would say that if you're looking for Photoshop, you can upgrade the RAM. It makes for an even better device. Now, going ahead and looking at Autodesk 3ds Max, you can see that this is where the Slim 5 really stands out. I mean, it substantially steps over the MSI Cyborg, a 183 versus the 240. Looking at Autodesk Maya, a very similar situation, 257 versus 303. PTC Creo, Cyborg has a 174. Versus a 202, so not a huge difference in that one. And then lastly, SOLIDWORKS, we have a 99 and a 99. So Autodesk 3ds Max and Autodesk Maya are definitely the bigger separation. then PTC Creo and SolidWorks. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the Premiere Pro Playback. I was looking at the MSI Cyborg and you see 104 drop frames for B-RAW. There's 16,177 frames in that timeline for 4K, 4K B-RAW, and 6K red footage. You can see 0 drop frames for 4K, 104 drop frames for B-RAW, and 1,807 for red footage. Now looking at the Slim 5, 68 drop frames for B-RAW and 209 for red footage. So the Lenovo Legion Slim 5 is definitely more optimized than the MSI Cyborg. Now let's take a look at export times. The MSI Cyborg, 4 minutes and 39 seconds for the export time. 4K 9-minute clip placed in Premiere Pro, export out at full quality 4K settings. And then looking at the Slim 5, 2 minutes and 19 seconds. So more than a 2-minute difference in the export time for 4K. Definitely going to have an advantage for the Slim 5. Now look at the 6K export, 21 minutes and 22 seconds versus 14 minutes and 21 seconds. This laptop, that's what I'm saying. Why haven't they brought this back in 2024? Are they inventing some new super laptop? Probably some really good AI laptop. AI laptop. Sorry, the AI hype is just killing me. Overall, if you can find the Slim 5, to me, it's the hands down best bang for buck laptop. However, if it's unavailable, I think the MSI Cyborg is an absolutely fantastic choice for a bang for buck, budget-friendly 14-inch gaming laptop. There's just so many advantages that come with the Slim 5. However, the one big advantage is you're able to upgrade the RAM. You still have solid color gamut range on the MSI Cyborg and a great port selection and just an overall a good build for a budget-friendly laptop. So hands down, it is a fantastic choice. Remember that there are links in the description if you're ready to make a purchase, or click or tap the screen for more videos to help you with your buying decision. I'll see you in the next video.